This was the second veto the General Assembly has overturned this session. Mitch Legan joins us now to discuss. This isn't the first time the governor and legislature have wrestled over their powers. Hi, Mitch.
Hey, Joe. Yeah, no, I spoke with University of Indianapolis Professor James Fuller this week, and he says this kind of fight over power is really reminiscent of what we last saw during the Civil War. Of course, things were a lot more heated then than they were now.
So what were they arguing over? Who was governor?
So Republican Oliver Morton becomes governor in 1861, right before the war begins. But he knows things are trending toward war, so he starts preparing the state, gathering guns and ammo and creating a state militia. But when he's doing this, he's centralizing a lot of power in the governor's office. And you know Hoosiers, Joe, this isn't something they're particularly comfortable with, so it leads to a Democratic wave in the state legislature in 1863.
They set out to pass a series of laws that came together under the Militia Act, they called it. And this Militia Act was going to take control of the war effort away from the governor and give it to the legislature.
So, Mitch, do they pass it?
No, so the Republicans actually don't show up to session, so Democrats don't have a quorum. So the Militia Act doesn't pass, but neither does the state budget. So there's no money to run the state for the next 2 years. The Democrats think they've got Morton right where they want him. They'll have to call a special session, and then they'll pass the Militia Act and the state budget. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't call him back into session, and he just runs the state by himself for the next 2 years. He gets loans from Republican county governments, private banks. Fuller calls it in his biography a period of one-man rule. So he's doing a lot more than Governor Holcomb was doing this past pandemic. Fuller says what we're seeing now is unique because it's a Republican legislature fighting with the Republican governor. But we can really thank Oliver Morton for kind of putting us in this position and really lifting up those governor's powers.
It's also a legacy of Oliver Morton, and I think that that's something we can remember, and that's that struggle that we continue to have in Indiana, and I think we still will have going forward. How much power belongs in which party, in which house, which branch of the government should have it, and where are the limits of that power?
Mitch, I imagine it's a battle future governors and legislators will have as well.
Yes, so it's going to keep going.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.